So, good afternoon, all. Stress, stress, stress. We are all familiar with the word stress. We all know how it affects us. But what happens is we brush it up under the carpet and keep moving with our daily routines. At one point of time, we realize that this is the limit. I can't bear this anymore. When the stagnation point comes, we feel that the situation is out of our control. To guide us as how to manage our stressful life peacefully and joyfully, we here now have Mrs. Lakshmi Subramanian.
Revati ma'am, shall we start? It is 2:05 and
Yeah,
there are 35 participants.
Yes, I have started, Jaya.
Revati ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. Lakshmi ma'am, you're able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. I heard your introduction.
Jaya, I had been
Revati ma'am, are you there?
Yes, Jaya, I think you are not able to hear me. Other participants, somebody can unmute yourself and let me know whether you're all able to hear me. Anybody from the group?
Yes, madam, it is audible.
Okay, the introduction I had been. You're able to hear?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We now here have Mrs. Lakshmi Subramanian, the Executive Director, Global Adjustments, with us today. I welcome ma'am on behalf of the management, principal, and staff. She started her career as a banker. She brings in 18 years of experience as a senior leader in a multinational bank and 12 years of facilitation skills to the Champion Women workshops. She enjoys enabling women to flourish in the workforce. She is a role model in this. I welcome you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you, Ms. Revati.
Welcome, ma'am. I request the participants to be a bit cautious and conscious of muting and unmuting your audio because it will be interrupting the resource person's presentation. So I request you all to be a little bit cautious, and over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all of you. It's such a pleasure to talk to the faculty of this institution, KCG. Global Adjustments and Ms. Ranjini Manian has been in touch with KCG and HIET institutions for a very long time. And we have done a lot of programs in the early years. Come pandemic, we are all e-meeting in this room in WebEx that Ms. Revati has arranged. And welcome all of you. I know this is post-lunch. I hope you like the music. I'm here to just talk about very simple stuff on how you can strengthen your emotions and face the challenges that the life keeps throwing us every other day. Yeah. So, as she was telling, I represent the organization called Global Adjustments Foundation, and we work on life leadership workshops completely free of cost. And during the lockdown, we have impacted at least 25,000 people on corporate, on academic institutions, faculty, students, and with a lot of associations like universities and associations like NASCOM, TIE, and all that we have spoken about emotional strengthening. And I'm so glad that this Saturday afternoon I'm able to spend this time with you. Just give me a moment. I will like to share a small deck. It's nothing but just a set of pictures. I hope you're able to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You can put it on full screen. Yes,
I have. Yeah. So the topic is mindful to mindfulness. So our mind is always full. What is it full with? It's like Revati ma'am said, it's like stress and stress and stress and stress. And how does it come? Because we keep holding on to a lot of stuff in this small space between the 2 years. The mind is full always. There is this 1/3 of the mind which has got the past regrets of probably some incidents in the life or some conversations which have not really gone very well with our loved ones. Or it could be just our own regrets, you know. In a fit of an anger, we probably say some word and then we really repent and regret. In some families, it's possible that the relationship has been broken because of those strong words. So all of that is part of this one third of our mind. What is the other one third? The other one third has the future anxiety. In the pandemic, what's happening? I am, not able to do full justice in this online platform. Or am I actually making an impact to the students that I'm talking to every day? Is somebody not just logging on and not listening to my class? Or will my neighbor be affected by COVID? Or will my loved ones who don't live with me but staying around, particularly in the northern part of the country, it's still pretty bad there. And what is this pandemic? I thought it will get over by April, May, and looks like we will go till next May. All these anxious thoughts are there on one side of the mind. And what is there in between, that long, never-ending to-do list. I have to do this. Just now in this webinar, I'm sure some of you might be like making note of, okay, just after this webinar gets over, I have to do this, I have to do the weekly grocery shopping, or I have to sit with my child and see the week lessons that they have done, so on and on and on and on and on, How much ever we try to tick off the to-do list, it just seems to be like just ever growing. So this is our mind, always full. And why, while it is always full, it's always living, if you realize, either in the past or in the future, or the stuff that has to be done, something that is always doing. But we never live in the present. We never live in the present to enjoy the moment or be able to completely face the challenges that is thrown now. And all these regrets, the past and the present, is not going to help us in facing the challenges which is completely present, completely now. So for the next probably 45, 15 minutes, we will speak about how we can bring our mind to the present. Bringing the mind to the present is mindfulness. If you just remove that one L from mindful, then you're completely in the present, which is mindfulness. I will be sharing very simple tips and tools that you can practice on your daily life and enjoy the mindfulness. So, why is it now that we are speaking about emotional strength? I know the pandemic is there for quite some time. I think you and I have got used to the pandemic now, wearing the mask and washing our hands and standing away from people when we are getting into the market and all of that. We've sort of got used to. After all, we've been doing it for the past 7, 8 months. But the emotional strength for the individual, whether they are an extrovert or an introvert, apparently is affecting every human being because of the pandemic. And there are reports that are given by WHO saying depression cases can increase and mental health issues have increased and all of that. So when we realized all this is when the foundation we really came about and wanting to conduct this workshop for as many people as possible. And thankfully, your head of the team really immediately took upon and she fixed up a date for us. So here I am here to talk about the dose of happiness. So while we are going through this pandemic and a lot of thoughts about pandemic, I don't want to say negative or positive. After all, we are human. So when something like this, a challenge comes, it is very natural that we will be very anxious, we will be very fearful, we will be worried for the children who seem to be losing their childhood in this year. They are not able to go out and play in a park, or they are not able to go and play with their friends. And they are also learning stuff within the small box when Ideally, they will be jumping in their classes and they will be playing with their friends. But that's all that is not happening. But still, my dear friends, I really want to give the dose of happiness and tell you how easy it is to get happiness in your mind and body. There are chemicals that gets generated in our body, as you all might have known because you're all from the STEM background. So there is a chemical called dopamine, which is nothing but a reward chemical. So a reward chemical, what does it do? It just gives you happiness. Somebody says, "Well done, great job," and immediately there's this huge smile on our face, right? So something that you can do for yourself, feeling good activities, probably a massage or listening to nice music, eating good food. And of course, this month is a festive month that alone will give you so much happiness and dopamine will get released more. And the other one is, of course, oxytocin. Oxytocin is a chemical that gets generated with every human being, but a little more in the women's brains. That's the reason the women is naturally wanting to bond, naturally wanting to care and share. So this oxytocin, it generates just by playing with your pet or with a baby or hugging somebody. And that is a love chemical. And that gives you happiness instantaneously. Endorphin, that's the medicine that we take for painkillers. You know, if we have a pain, then we go to the chemist and ask him for a painkiller. He'll probably give you a brufen or whatever, and all of that will have a bit of endorphin so that it sort of milds the pain from your brain, right? And endorphin, on the other hand, gets naturally generated if you have that nice belly laugh. When was the last time we laughed loudly without any kind of control, and that belly laugh can actually generate endorphin? So all these chemicals are all happiness chemicals. Serotonin. Serotonin is something that people are given as antidepressants. People having mental health issues, there is a dose of serotonin which comes with all their medications. And how can you generate it naturally? By meditating, taking a natural green walk, and these two all by yourself, not with this gadget in hand, right? So, meditation is something that has been with us for, I think, more than 7,000 years. But then I don't want to call it meditation, right? It's so ancient, it is so Stone Age. I want to call it sitting in silence with self. So it's the me time that I give for myself in silence, completely not disturbed by anything, not even by the notification on the phone. And I start the day with sitting in silence. So that gives you the dose of happiness with absolutely no other efforts from you. So we'll get on to find out how we can do that very simply. Because the moment I say meditation, you will remember one picture of one orange clad person, or you will remember a white clad person. So let's not even get into all that. This is just a self care activity, and I want all of you to be a little selfish in this way. Why am I saying selfish? It's only because I want you to put your wellness upfront. I want you to take time, the me time that we always give it off to somebody else, the students or colleagues or in the family, to the other family members, both men and women. We do that, and the women do it a little more, right? But today, I really want you to take that me time for yourself. Not much, 10 minutes probably, and think about how you can have that self care activities. Yeah. So I want us to be like that animal in the picture, able to see only the sun and four trees because that's what is there outside. We really don't want all that clutter in the mind. You would have probably pulled up your student saying you're physically present but not mentally present. Here you're mentally absent, right? We've heard our professors always have said that because they can make out if the student is just there and not listening, right? So that is exactly being mindful. If I'm able to bring my mind and body to a particular point in time, which is the present today. That is being mindful. Yeah. And the so if wants to be mindful, or somebody wants to learn tips and tools of mindful, the change has to come from self. We've done a lot of things for our body, the physical fitness. And during the pandemic, physical fitness videos were completely overloaded on the internet. But what about mental fitness? What about emotional fitness? So we got to sort of balance both, right? On one end, the physical fitness, and on the other end, the more important part is the mental fitness. I've given my email ID here just in case you want to like keep in touch with me. Yeah. So the first thing I want to share with you is one practice of mindfulness, very simple practice, because mindfulness can be something that can start from brushing your teeth. Any of you, do you even remember what happens when we brush our teeth? It is so monotonous first thing in the morning. We don't even know what we are thinking about. We definitely don't care about which teeth we are touching or not. We know we have to do 6 times every side, and we do that and we come out, right? But you can be mindful of yourself when you're doing even a mundane activity. Like that, every aspect of your life, if you live in the present and enjoy that moment, drinking a cup of coffee, completely taking the flavor and the sweetness, the uh, heat of the coffee, and the nice taste of the coffee, all of it together, the experience can be multifold for the person. Like that, I have taken one of the mindful activity, which I hope you will enjoy. So this is, I've just picked up 2, 3 paragraphs from this book, which is one of my favorites. It's called Take Your Time, written by Eknath Ishwaran. Eknath Ishwaran was a professor like you people in Berkeley University, and you know what he was teaching people? He was teaching people meditation and happiness in life with complete success and prosperity. Those were his topics, and he's written several books. But this Take Your Time is a book which I really enjoy, and I read quite often small bits in that, because that can give you an idea of a change that you want to bring about, or give an idea for the next day's events. So can I have one volunteer to read this? Here we will try to read it as an absorbed reading. What is an absorbed reading? Slowly, word by word, if you can go through the passage. So can I have one volunteer, please, who can read it for the group here? Anybody? You can just unmute yourself and read it for the group. My dear friends, where are you all?
I'll start, ma'am.
Yeah, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. I believe that it comes naturally to us to want to contribute to the welfare of those we love. If we understand the obstacles that stand in the way of doing this, we will be better prepared to overcome them. In most disagreements, it is not differences in ideas that divide people. It is often lack of respect, putting ourselves first instead of the other person. Sometimes all that is required is listening with respect and attention to the other person's point of view.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a nice reading.
Welcome.
Ma'am, is
Thank
there
you.
anything that resonates in this paragraph for you?
What I felt was listening is very much important.
Yeah.
So that is the communication we give to the other person. We communicate to the other person that I'm
So
listening
true.
to you. Yes, whatever you want, you can share with me.
So true. So true. So listening, we know, is important, because that's a word that you must be using every time in the class, right? Are you listening to me? So So that's such an important, word in our lives, particularly with relationships. And like Revati ma'am said, that's an integral part of the communication. Because unless you listen, whatever I speak here is going to thin air, right? But how do you listen with respect? Do we like stand up and listen? What is it? How do we listen with respect? Any idea how you listen with respect? You can use the chat box also and put in your comments, or you can, of course, as ma'am said, you can unmute and tell me. So, anyone, how do we listen with
Acknowledge
respect?
others' presence.
Sorry,
Acknowledging
I
others' presence.
yeah, acknowledging
Acknowledging the
others'
others'
presence.
presence.
Yes, yes, perfect. Acknowledging the others' presence. Yeah. Any other thought?
Having an open mind and trying to see the point of view of the other person.
Yeah, putting the other person's point of view, because normally what happens, the moment the other person starts talking, our mind starts thinking of solutions, starts thinking of reactions, starts thinking of responses that I want to give even before the other person finishes the sentence. Or the moment the person finishes the sentence, we are ready to respond with our counter, right? And we never allow the other person to be completely listened to. So, listening with respect will have to be with ears, obviously, with eyes, with heart, and with the mind. Ears for the obvious reason so that we hear them. Eyes is complete attention to the speaker, keeping that eye contact. Now, in this virtual world, that gets a little difficult, but I try and look at you through this camera of my gadget. So I'm able to keep an eye contact with you. So when I keep an eye contact as a speaker with you, then you are able to understand that I am with you with an one pointed attention, and I give that confidence that I'm actually listening to you. I'm actually here for you, and I'm here to provide the solution or just be a listener for you, right? And listening with heart. Listening with heart is that empathy for the other person. If you are telling me something that you're going through, and I'm like looking here, there, everywhere, you wouldn't even want to continue your story, right? And when I am listening with the heart, I can understand from what perspective you're talking about your story. And of course, listening with the mind is thinking of solutions to the other person's problems, or thinking of ways of consoling the other person if they are going through bad times, thinking of alternatives that we can offer to the other person. And this four pronged listening will completely take the relationship to the next level, whatever be the relationship, particularly a relationship with a loved one in the family. In the pandemic, all of us are now sort of in the four walls for time that we've never been together, right? I know some of you visit your college these days, but most of us have done work from home for a very long time. I, for one, have not stepped out to my office or to any other place beyond March 23rd. I have been here, and this is the longest time I think all of us have spent with our loved ones. And there, the ones whom we really love and care, and we want only the best for them, we can listen to them with eyes, ears, hearts, and mind. Just try it, because that really will help the relationship go forward. Can I have one more reader, please? Anybody, I think, can unmute and read this for me and the group. Yeah, who wants to do that? Mr. Prasad, do you want to read? Sir, you're on mute if you're reading. Yes, sir. Go
Glatin,
ahead.
sir. Yeah.
Breastfeed, most of us carry around a pair of hair plugs and the minute and the minute somebody says something we don't like, we stuff our hairs as until we can start talking again. Watch yourself the next time one person is saying, "What did you do the other day when I asked you to help?" The other replies, "What about you?" Can you imagine anything more ridiculous? They are not trying to settle their differences. They are trying to make sure that neither of them will forget. To stop this quarrel, simply listen calmly with complete attention, even if you don't like what the other person is saying. Try it and see. What happens, whatever happens, you walk away feeling better about yourself. You have staying kind, kept your cool, not let anger push you around. That freedom that brings is worth any amount of practice.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prasad. Is there something that
Thank you.
resonates with you? Do you have any thoughts on this? Or anybody else have any thoughts? You can put it on the chat, or you can like unmute and tell me, please. Okay. See, this author here talks of the earplugs, right? Now, this earplug we are putting on because it is a virtual platform and we want to listen to each other more clearly, right? But otherwise, remember, this is just a metaphor. In a normal sense, also, we don't even want to listen to some of them when they start speaking. And we put that imaginary earplug and we just don't want to listen. That's because we don't want to put the other person in front of us. But this pandemic has taught us one thing which is very clear is empathy for the other person, the kindness for the other person. It may be a loved one, it may be a stranger. The world has to come together today to help each other. And that is very important as far as the relationship goes. So each of us have a small world, right? We have the small world with at least 100, 200 people knowing each other, our family, friends, our loved ones, our colleagues, our students, so on and so forth. So, in this small world, if I'm able to completely show kindness and empathy, then I become the great leader that is a changed personality during this pandemic, right? So that's what he says. Just try it once. Just try it, putting the other person's interest in front of yours. Probably this evening, if there is going to be a TV program that is watched by the entire family, can I give the remote to another person and let the other person choose the program for the family? It's a very small thing, but it makes a leap of a difference for you and the other person. Just try it. So take your time. Please, can you mute whoever? Please, can you mute? Thank you so much. So take time for relationship is something that pandemic has really thrusted. Otherwise, we were all running against some race which we don't even know where we were going, right? But this pandemic has put us a good stop and said, now think of the present, learn in the present, and grow in the present. That's exactly what we are doing. And such readings are available in this website called bmcm.org, which is Eknath Ishwaran's website. This practice is called absorbed reading and discussion practice. Like how you read a paragraph with one other person and have a small discussion with the other person, then what happens? Your ideas are growing and you're also learning something new. Try it out and see. It's a very effective mindful practice which helps you on a daily basis by getting one idea for your life. Yeah, just try it out. Yeah, let's move on. So, Buddha actually told us that whatever you are is the result of what you think. I'm sure you're all like, science backgrounds and you're all teaching technology, at some point in time in your mind, you must have thought about what you want to do in the future. And the thought that is there in your mind, particularly in the subconscious mind, is what you are today. That's very clearly proven by universe. At this point in time, I really want to share this story that once a wise man told me. This is about a lady who is traveling very far and she's crossing a set of forest. So she decides to rest under a tree. And while she's resting, there is a small snake which comes and nibbles her leg. So she gets up saying, ouch. And with that noise of ouch, the nearby, a trunk hole, a rat comes and just sees what's happening around. And the lady sees the rat and she gets very angry. Oh, she assumes, right? She assumes saying, oh, you are the one who bit me, is it? How dare you? And all of that. And she gets back to sleep, like the way how the snake went back to its hole. Then now the rat is really angry. I never did anything. I just woke up to the sound and she is shouting at me for no reason and it goes and bites her pretty hard. So she wakes up with a real louder ouch. And when the louder ouch is heard, our first friend snake comes and shows its face from its hole. The lady sees the snake. She perspirates, and she assumes that it's the snake that has bit her. And she gets into a fit and she falls down and she actually dies. Now, friends, I really want you to think about it and tell me what killed the lady. Is it the rat? Or is it the snake which actually bit her? Or what else killed the lady? Can you put it in the chat or tell me by unmuting? What do you think killed the traveler? Yeah, it's the assumption and the fear. It's the fear. Yes, Gladwin. It's the fear. Yes, Dan Lakshmi. It's her fear. Very true. Very true. So the fear has completely taken over her time, right? Because she was not in the present. She reacted to seeing the snake. If only she was in the present and she had seen her bite, she would have realized it's such a small thing. It really can't be a poisonous snake. It is one of those ordinary snakes, and she could have just rubbed some medicine and she would be quite all right. Is it not the same thing that we do in our life? When something happens to us, an incident, or somebody tells me something, I immediately react, right? We immediately react without thinking much about what's happening. There is a possibility there is that small snake in your house always coming and nibbling you here and there. There is also a possibility of a rat, a mouse in your workplace and coming and biting you or irritating you. But what to do? It's the world of the snake and the rat too. And I have to live my peaceful life among them, right? So I have to learn to respond to the situations and not react and jump into conclusions and fall completely flat on my face. So how do I respond? See, it is possible to respond only when you understand what is happening in the present, right? Otherwise, it's always assumptions. To just give you an example, suppose I call you an idiot today. I say idiot, and I walk off. And what will you do? That word idiot will be there in your mind. How can she call me idiot? How dare she call me idiot? I have helped her so much, and she calls me idiot. And then you will pick up the phone and talk to your friend and say, you know what, that Lakshmi called me idiot. How dare she call me idiot? The next time, let her come to me. I will call her stupid, and so on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Like how we keep grinding that batter again and again and again. And that word idiot, she would have just mentioned it only once. But you have mentioned it 1,000 times in your mind. So the next time she comes, even with a friendly talk, your assumption of this incident, please can you mute somebody? Please. Please mute your mics. Thank you so much. Yeah. So this incident of that idiot will come to your mind and you will react. Whereas if you are in the present and not really worried about the past regrets or the future anxiousness, you will only respond. Respond is so important for our well-being and our relationships too. So I'm here to just share three things to increase mindfulness or three small tips which can help you practice mindfulness on a daily basis. Very simple. I think one you already know because Ms. Revati was saying there was a session about gratitude, feeling grateful, looking the cup half full always. Half full, you know, it's not full, it's only half, but then it is full. That fullness of that cup, which is half filled with whatever is what I'm grateful for. So she told me yesterday that there was a session about gratitude and why that should become your daily habit. It's so important it has to be your daily habit. I know most of us who have a faith, our faith has told us that we have to thank God for certain things on a daily basis. I'm really not talking about that, you know. I am talking about stuff that you're grateful for every day, but different stuff. You know, I'm grateful today, touch wood, that my Wi-Fi is working and I'm able to have this wonderful conversation with the fabulous faculty of KCG. I'm grateful, and in today's journal, this will get into my journaling. So gratitude, feeling the gratitude is one part of it, but actually writing it, it's the practice that will help you in understanding mindfulness. So gratitude journaling, what I suggest here is by the end of the day, yeah, before you are hitting the bed, you could have a small book by your bedside table and write three things of what happened on that day that you are grateful for. So let's just try that activity right now. If you have a paper or pen next to you, I'm going to give you exactly 1 minute. I'm just going to give you 1 minute and I want you to write the stuff that you're grateful for. Let's see how many number of things that you're writing that you're grateful for. And your time starts now. If you don't have a paper, you can always put it on the chat. I know I can't see you, but I'm hoping that you're all writing your gratitude items. Okay, pen down. So how many things that you wrote? How many stuff that you wrote that you're grateful for? How many have written 20 and above? 10 and above? Okay. Karthikeyan says 5. Wow. So who all? How many have written 5? Would you want to share some of your gratitude items here? Karthikeyan, do you want to share one from your list? Yeah, parents. Anytime and every time, right? Teachers, yes. So true. Maya says, I'm safe at home. The best thing that you can think of during the pandemic. Yeah, move to the chat and tell the group what you're grateful for. Why I'm insisting on you writing is that makes the difference. Every day, if you're able to journal the gratitude, you don't have to write stories. As kids, we used to write diary, right? Pages and pages and pages and pages and pages. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm only talking about a single line. I am grateful for, or I thank so and so for, or I appreciate so and so for. That's all. Just one sentence. I'm thankful my Wi-Fi works today. That's all will get into my gratitude journal. And why am I insisting on writing it? The thoughts is there only for a moment. And the next moment, your thoughts can just move away, right? While I am talking here itself, you will be thinking of so many things in your mind. Whereas when you sit and write, there is the thought, there is the eyes, there is the hand which is sitting and writing. And when you want to write good words, the right sentences. You will think, am I thankful for the Wi-Fi or am I thankful for the electricity? That way. So you will write the correct thing that you are thankful for, the correct person that you're thankful for. It's possible that in a particular day there is something which has happened which is not of your liking. There is a possibility you had a probably bad day that day. In that case, then you should be grateful for the lesson that incident taught you. So there can be two things that you're grateful for, and one thing can be the lesson that incident in a particular day taught you. Yeah. So this becomes very important, and it has to be a daily practice. The gratitude should not be that, oh, he doesn't have that, but I have that, so I am grateful for. No, it is not that. Regardless of whether others have it or not, I have it. I have a home. I have a family to look forward to. I have a work that I can do. I have a job that I'm making a difference to the next generation. And I live in a place like Tamil Nadu, Chennai. And so I know it's warm and hot, but we do have got rains this time, thanks to all this less pollution. Just like that, you will have things to write in your gratitude journal. But I'm saying try different things every day. How can I write every day three things in my gratitude journal? If only you make it a practice, a conversation with a friend, your mind will tell you this has to get into the gratitude journal today. Then it becomes a habit for you. So it's important you write. And it is very cathartic to write because you just go to your journal, say after 15 days or 20 days, or in one of those moments that you're so low and sad, take your gratitude journal and just flip through the pages, and the confidence comes to you immediately and instantaneously. Oh, why am I complaining? I have so much in my life to look forward to. Let me go with it. So, gratitude as a process and journaling as the work that you do daily, which is a daily habit, really gives abundance in your life. And all of us believe, right? What we think is what we become. When you start thinking of abundance, it is only abundance of happiness, prosperity, success, money, whatever you're looking for. So the half full actually becomes full that way. So please take this as a regular practice in your mind, and I hope you feel and face the abundance in your life. The next one, it's a repetition of a power phrase or a power word. Yeah. So here, there is a man who is telling a story to his children saying, in everybody's mind, there are two monkeys. One is the joy, peace, faith monkey, and the other is regret, anger, fear, worry, pride, and ego monkey. And even in my mind, these two monkeys are there. And then the girl asks, so which monkey wins? What do you think, friends? Which monkey wins? I'm sure you would have heard this story, right? Oh, Revati says able to sit at home and work while many have lost their job. Yes, Revati. That is something I'm grateful for all the 24 hours during the pandemic. Thank you for putting that. So, friends, tell me which monkey wins? Is it the monkey with the faith or is it the monkey with the ego? Which one you think will win? You can unmute and tell me or put it on the chat. Not sure? No problem. It's the monkey that you feed. So if I have called you idiot, and if you're going to feed the monkey, which is anger, so you become so angry and upset with me and you spoil your day probably a couple of days after that. But instead, if you want to feed the monkey with says, it's fine, let it go. Just because she calls me an idiot, I don't become an idiot. And I want peace and I feed the right monkey, then obviously I'm feeling so much at peace and I'm not going to carry that stress and I'm completely in the present. But how do I feed the monkey? That's the big question, right? I know which monkey to feed, but how do I feed it? That's where the power word comes into our help. The power word is something that you can choose. If you believe in a faith, it can be words from your faith, or it can be just words like joy. It can be words like I am at peace, or it can be words like Shakti, Shanti, or from your faith, of course, Jesus itself is a beautiful power word. Allahu Akbar is a power word. And when it comes to the Hindu faith, there are so many options. But the point here is take a small word or just a phrase with, say, maximum four words in it. And you repeat it whenever you're doing the mundane activity. If you can just keep on repeating the power phrase. In ancient times, we used to call it a mantra. You know, in our language, we call it as a mantra, which is nothing but anchor, an anchor that is there with you all the time, that you can hold on and be able to respond to a situation or tell the mind exactly what you want to do or to think. So here are some options that I have given. In fact, the last one is a Buddhist option, which means dwell in the lotus of my heart. You know, Gandhi's option was Rama Rama, right? That's why when he was shot also, he fell down with those power words in his mind, from his mouth. He said, hey, Ram, Ram, Ram. So Ram, again, the meaning is joy in my heart. So this power word, if you can use it like mundane activities, like you're going for a walk, you're walking your dog, you're washing your dishes, in any of those mundane activities where you really don't have to apply your brains. So, for example, if you're cutting vegetables, then you're not supposed to use the power words. If you're driving, then you're not supposed to use the power word. Practice the power word, right? It has to be completely mundane activity. At the back of the mind, if you can keep on repeating the power word, it generates an energy. And that energy is there within you, which comes to your help when you have a situation. That's a power word with complete energy that you're feeding and it comes to your help. So that's the next practice. The first practice I was talking of was gratitude journaling to just give you the abundance in life so that you have the confidence of facing any challenge. The next one is the power word or phrase. Please choose a power word and keep repeating it and give the power word the energy. Here we are not going to write, we are going to keep repeating it, and that will strengthen, that will be the energy that you're providing to the word, which will come to your help when you need it. An situation, an incident, an argument. So if suppose your boss is pulling you up, your head of the department is pulling you up, you can't say, wait, ma'am, I will just come in a minute, I will repeat my power word, I will get that strength and come and talk to you. She's not going to wait for you, right? So this is something that you have to do it on a daily basis and create that energy for yourself, which you can tap when you need it. This is something completely internal and it is so personal. This is not something that you will not say Rama, 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 Rama. No, it's not that. So the power word is there in your mind and it completely calms you. It gives you that strength and you feel totally in control of what you're doing. Yeah. Okay. Now coming to the main thing, sitting in silence or meditation. I'm not sure how many of you are already meditating and you can please tell me if you're meditating. It's a wonderful practice. For me, it's complete. It has changed my life for the better, and it has given me a sort of comfort that I can handle any situation, any challenges. So what is meditation? Meditation is nothing but sitting in silence and trying to train your attention or mind. And it is believed that you become what you meditate on. Like, for example, I speak to a lot of students in colleges on life leadership. And when I speak about sitting in silence with them, I tell them that if there is fear of speaking up, the lecturer asks a question and you will face it every day. None of them want to put up their hand and answer the question. Why? Because they have that fear that, oh my God, if I give the wrong answer, then everybody is going to laugh at me. Or if you ask for volunteers to come and speak or participate in a debate competition, very few hands will go up. Not everybody will really participate. Why? Because that fear of speaking in front of an audience is so high, right? But if you are able to meditate and if you want to change that fear, you meditate on courage. You meditate on being able to speak to a larger public, and the meditation will completely give you the strength to overcome that fear and face the fear. That's just an example. So you actually become what you meditate on. So the choice is yours, right? Depending on what you want. And why should I meditate? Oh, very simple, because you can lose couple of things like the insecurity, the fear, the anxiety. And what do you gain? You gain clarity, you gain the concentration. And meditation is not making you become a sadhu or a saint. Absolutely not. I meditate every day for half an hour, and still, I still like to wear diamonds and live my life. But what helps me and why meditation is when it allows me to lead my life the way I want, not the way that my mind wants to lead, So that way it gives me success. And when I speak of success, most of the leaders in the world have a practice of meditation. And I'm just giving you one example here. You know this person, right? Steve Jobs. Though I know he died very young, but he created a revolution in the world. And he attributes in his book, he attributes all his successful designs to the half an hour that he spent in meditation. He came all the way across the globe to learn meditation from India. And there is one interesting fact to share with you about Steve Jobs is just a few weeks before he died, they had taken an MRI of his brain and they realized the brain age was of a person of just 27 years, though he was 56 when he died. So meditation can actually reverse the age of the brain, not of the external look. I still need, the indigo and all that for my hair. But then the brain age can be reversed by meditation, and he's a great for that. So how do I do it? Now, this is the catches. So many types of meditation is there, and you can read any number of books, listen to any number of YouTube, listen to any number of speeches. All that is not going to help you unless you just sit one day and start meditating. Like, for example, how did we learn bicycling? Did we see movies on bicycling? Did we read books on bicycling? We just took the bicycle, sat on it and started pedaling, right? Of course, we fell down and we again went on the bicycle and we pedaled and we learned bicycling, right? It's the same thing. How many ever years have gone past after the last time you bicycled? Even today, if a bicycle is given to you, you can get on that and ride a bicycle. These things we never forget. Meditation is exactly the same. You just sit and you start. That's all it is to it. And you can never forget to meditate. Your body and mind will not allow you without meditating. For me, friends, I have been meditating for almost a decade now, and I meditate for about 20 to 30 minutes every day. And that's the top priority of my life. The first thing I do. So I'm not saying you have to do it early in the morning. No, I'm not saying that. It is the first activity that you can do in your early morning, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, whenever that is. But spend the time for yourself. I really want you all to experience what meditation is about. So, with your permission, I want to play an audio which you can just follow by closing your eyes. And please tell your people around not to disturb you for the next 6 minutes because this will be a 6 minute audio. Ma'am, I'm stopped sharing. Can you share that audio, please?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you. So in the meantime, please sit comfortably where you are and tell your people around not to disturb you for the next 5, 6 minutes. She's playing an audio. Just listen to the audio. I'm muting myself.
Are you able to see that?
No, not it, ma'am. Yeah, it's just coming up.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You can play it now.
I invite you to join me on a 10-minute journey of going inward so we can discover me space and me time. Sit on a straight back chair with your head, neck, and back in a straight line. You can also sit cross-legged on the floor with a back support. Gently close your eyes and focus on your breath. Keep your hands loosely on your lap with palms facing upwards. Both your feet are planted on the ground. And now we will do a body scan. Starting at the big toe, right up. Your feet are relaxing. Your ankles are relaxed. Your knees, calves, thighs are relaxing. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your back is relaxing. Be aware of how smoothly our internal organs are working. The lungs are filled with pure oxygen and support your body every minute. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in pure oxygen, you inhale love and compassion. Breathing out, you let go all negative thought. Focus your attention on your breath. Be aware of your surroundings. With your eyes closed, feel the coolness or the warmth. Be aware of any sounds. And as I use an inspirational passage, mentally join me over the words. This passage is from Saint Teresa of Avila. Let nothing upset you. Let nothing frighten you. Nothing is changing. God alone is changeless. Patience attains a goal. Who has God lacks nothing. God alone fills every need. When we use the word, we are referring to the divine spirit in all of us, dwelling in our own hearts. Let nothing upset you. Let nothing frighten you. Mentally say those two lines. Everything is changing. God alone is changing. Patience attains the goal. Who has God lacks nothing. God alone fills your every need. Keep your attention on your breath, and if your thoughts go away, gently bring them back to focus on it. When you hear the bell, you may gently open your eyes with a big smile, greet the world outside.
Welcome back. I'm hoping the experience was good. I just want to leave you with takeaway. Just that's all is the takeaway. Because we are called human beings for a reason, you know. We are not human doing, we are human beings. We have to just be. Begin your day with the silent me time that you just experienced now, and use the power word for your benefit, and end your day with gratitude. And these 3 tips will make you become the mindful person that you want to be. So I'm just leaving my contact number here. We have a YouTube channel called Champion Woman, and there is a podcast that I have put on the screen, the guided meditation podcast. Like the voice that you heard now, you can start your meditation journey with somebody giving you that instructions for probably 10 or 12 days. And after that, you will automatically sit and you can stop listening to the podcast if it doesn't help you. Yeah. So please use the podcast. It's completely free of cost. And just start your day with meditation. Anything that you want to share about the meditation practice that you had, or any question answers, I'm here to help you. I'm stop sharing now. So how was that 5-6 minutes that you sat in silence? You can unmute and tell me, or you can put it on chat. Or if there is any questions, I'm here to address that. So any thoughts on the sitting in silence experience that you had? Is there somebody who meditates already? KCG, have you gone asleep? Have you all slept? So would somebody want to tell me how you felt during that 6-7 minutes that you were silent listening to the voice? Okay, Maya. Okay, Revati says she meditates. That's very nice. Meditation was relaxing, Karthikeyan. Yes, why was it relaxing, Karthikeyan? Because those 6 or 7 minutes you spent with the best friend of yours, which is yourself. The time that we spend with ourselves is reduced considerably in our life, right? We hardly have time for ourselves. Revati, it's nice that you meditate. Maya says, yes, it was nice, but my thoughts wandered in between. Yes, Maya, your thoughts have to wander. That's their job. The job of yours in meditation is bringing that thought to the next word in the passage. You know, for me, that's why passage meditation works well. So when I say let nothing upset you, or choose any passage that you want, something that resonates with you, with just one condition, that you're able to understand the meaning of the line. That's very important. Because when you understand the meaning of the lines, it becomes easy to bring the mind back to the next word. I want to go eat that gulab jamun in the fridge. So you tell your mind, yeah, we will eat, but now come back to the next word. Let nothing upset you. And then you continue doing it. the few days in the beginning, your thoughts will be going everywhere. And just the fact that you're bringing it back to the words, to the next word, is being mindful. You're bringing that mind back to now, and you're bringing the mind to do what you want it to do, right? That itself is a great practice of mindfulness, bringing it to the present. So that's the reason I suggested passage meditation, because intellectually it helps you to sort of anchor the mind at one point. There are various kinds of meditation: music meditation, dance meditation. Some of them can just sit in silence by themselves. Some of them need pin drop silence by themselves. Some of them can sit in the same room and the TV is blaring, each one to their own. But when it is something that you want an anchor, or you want a particular stuff to help you get into the practice, then you can choose passage meditation. And please don't panic that your mind is wandering, or don't give up. Oh my God, my mind is wandering, I'm not going to do this. Don't do that, because your mind, its job is to wander, and your job is to just bring it back to yourself and concentrate on the passage. So by heart, couple of sentences. These two sentences itself is great for the time that we are in. Let nothing upset you. Let nothing frighten you. Just these two sentences, if you can mentally keep repeating it, then you can bring your thought to yourself and bring it to the present. That's exactly the essence of mindfulness. Thank you for that comment. Any other thought, any other questions? We still have some time, or if there is nothing, that we can wind up. Thank you so much for the time. Anybody wants to unmute and talk to the group about what it was, you can. You're free to. I'm just giving my YouTube channel name here so that you can sort of benefit. Of course, Ms. Jaya has the audio. You can always pick it up from her. Yeah. So, ma'am, Revati.
Okay, if there are no questions.
Yeah.
So if there are
Sorry,
no
ma'am?
questions, we shall close. If there are no
Yeah,
questions, we shall
please.
close with the concluding remark. Madam, you
Yeah,
set the
sure.
platform wonderfully. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you set the platform wonderfully by saying our mind is always full. It's filled with influence of past events and anxiety about future. So in other words, we live in the past or future, but we fail to live in the present. So bringing the mind to the present is what we call mindfulness. Thanks, madam, for introducing Eknath Ishwaran's Take Your Time. And you also gave us 3 tips to increase mindfulness. Here they go. It is to maintain a gratitude journal, and it is to use positive phrases. And third, it is to know what, why, and how of meditation. So you also took us to a different world for a period of 6 minutes. As you said, I'll share the audio with my friends and hope we all will make our mind mindful. Thanks a lot, madam.
Thank you.
Participants,
Thank you so
the
much.
feedback.
Thank you very
Welcome,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Participants, the feedback form will be sent to your email. So in that case, shall we leave, ma'am, with your permission? Lakshmi, ma'am?
Lakshmi, ma'am, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
Are you able to hear us? Can we wind up?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sure,
Yes.
ma'am. Yeah.